What's up, guys? It's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we just got a new ban list. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out this new ban list. So first off, this list is actually going to take effect on September 15th, which is only 3 days away. But let's go ahead and see what actually moved on this ban list. So first off, we have Moon of the Closed Heaven, which actually breaks Fiendsmith away from a lot of decks because now we don't have a generic Link 2 that we can make to be able to actually step into the Fiendsmith engine, which is a little bit unfortunate for Fiendsmith, but it is necessary, and I totally saw this coming. This is actually a very good hit. For Malice, we do have Splash Mage also getting banned, and this is actually insane because this card was essentially like a copy of Sprite Elf for Cyvers, so I totally understand this hit as well. It's basically a walking monster reborn for Cyvers to be able to just instantly bring out a monster from their graveyard so that they can Link climb into their Link 3, so this is actually a very interesting hit and a pretty good one. We also have King of the Fairlands getting banned. This is something I really wanted to be able to actually break apart Ryziel and Mitsurugi, and this is actually a great hit. So basically now you have to play either Ryziel or either Mitsurugi, which is actually pretty cool to be able to actually see this card get banned so they can't just search any reptile they want. So I absolutely love that. And the biggest takeaway from the ban section is actually going to be number 67, Paradise Smasher, which is awesome. This card is now banned, I believe, in every single format, which is awesome to finally see because now there's no more turn skipping, which is awesome. So that's it for the ban cards. There's only 4 ban cards, but they're all amazing. I'm really glad that all these cards got banned. It's actually very, very nice. So let's go ahead and check out the limited section. So for the limited section, whoa, that's a lot of limited cards. Okay, so first off, wow, that is a lot of limited cards. Okay, so what do we have? We have EXT Ryziel. That's actually interesting. I either thought this card was going to get limited or it was going to get banned, but it getting limited is actually very nice. It makes it so Ryziel has to commit to their normal summon a little bit more now, which is really nice because this actually special summons itself by sending a copy of like Aggregator from the extract to the graveyard. So you can just instantly bring this card out, which it makes it the best starter in all of Ryziel. But again, with King of the Fairlands also getting banned, this is actually a really good move that it doesn't completely just decimate the engine, which is really nice. Dormouse actually getting limited as well is really nice. I called this one as well, that I did say on stream that this actually needed to happen, which I do live stream Master Duel, guys, which you should definitely come hang out. They're a lot of fun. I usually stream on Sundays, and it's a lot of fun where I actually duel against viewers. But Malice Dormouse actually getting limited is a really good move, and also them banning Splash Mage really hits Malice, and it's actually a great move because Dormouse is the best starter in all of Malice. So this is actually a very, very good hit. We then have Vanquished Soul Ryzen. Now, I really hope that they wouldn't actually take this route and actually limit Ryzen because I really, really like Vanquished Soul, but I totally understand it did win Worlds, and usually after a deck wins Worlds, they really go in and hit it, so I totally understand that they actually limited Ryzen. Plus, it's one of the best decks this format besides Yummy, so I totally understand them actually hitting Ryzen to 1. We then have Fiendsmith Lacrima. This is because the time rules actually changed, and they went ahead and banned Moon of the Closed Heaven, so I totally understand them actually moving Fiendsmith Lacrima back to actually 1 is really nice. They actually limited Linkuriboh. That is so nice. We finally have Linkuriboh back. I said this when this happened. I did not think it was a really good justified hit that they actually banned Linkuriboh, and now it's finally back at 1. I think on the next list we'll probably see this card go to 2 or 3, and I totally understand this card coming back. It's a great move. I'm really excited for this because it did need to come back to 2 or 3. I understand it going back to 1 now, but it's one of those cards you usually just play 1 of anyways in the extract, so I totally understand this card actually going to 1 because it didn't need to get hit to begin with. They just needed to go ahead and ban OSS, which is nice that they still kept OSS banned. Hopefully it didn't go back to 3, but it is currently at 1 for Linkrio. We have Summon Sorceress going back to 1. This was kind of already, we knew about this, that it was going to happen, but it's great to actually see Summon Sorceress come back to 1 because they did actually errata the Summon Sorceress card, which is great to actually see. So now we have Summon Sorceress back to 1. It'll probably go back to 3 later on because it's just a 1-of anyways, but it is a great move to actually see Summon Sorceress come back. We then also have Herald of the Arclight. This is actually a yummy hit, I believe, because you can actually just summon out 2 copies of Herald of the Arclight to the field to be able to basically just get a double negate on the field in Yummy. So I totally understand them actually hitting this card, but it really hurts for a lot of ritual decks to actually see this because it's a great card to play in a bunch of different ritual decks, because when it does touch the graveyard, you do get the ability to actually add a ritual monster, ritual spell from your deck to your hand. So it is a little bit unfortunate, but it was either this or actually hitting something like Zaborg, because Zaborg is gaining popularity as well, to be able to just send a bunch of different cards from the extract to the graveyard. So this is very interesting to actually see this get hit. But again, it is a negate, and it does search a ritual monster and a ritual spell, so it's really a ritual monster or ritual spell. This is actually very nice to actually see Herald of the Arclight, even though it's a little bit unfortunate. We then have Zodiac Dryden. We already have cards like Ryzeal, Detonator that are running around that's basically Dryden, but a little bit better. So I really like that this actually moved to 1 because it just releases a little bit of Zodiac, so you have another option to make in other decks to give you a pop. So this is really nice. All it does is pop a card. It's usually coming out to the field as a 0/0 to be able to just basically summon this card out as a pop. So this is actually a very good move. We then have Crystron Inclusion. So Crystron is about the 5th best deck in the format. So this is actually very interesting. It did top Worlds. I think it came in top 8 at Worlds. So I totally understand them actually hitting Inclusion. And this is actually what, if they were going to hit something in Crystron, is the best hit to actually do, because it doesn't completely destroy the deck by actually putting Inclusion to 1. It actually just stops the deck just a little bit for the consistency, but they still have K9 to be able to use. So this is a great actual move. Then have Obedient Schooled. I feel like this card either needed to get banned or it actually needed to get limited. I felt like this card probably needed to get banned because of Yummy being able to just summon out 3 Yummies to their side of the field instantaneously, but this is totally fine to actually just see it limited. They can still get to it with Thrust, and it's still basically a crazy 1-of to be able to play inside of Yummy to just establish a crazy powerful field and just link climb and go into some pretty crazy plays using the Yummy Synchro monsters. But overall, great hit. We might see this actually banned on the next list though. We then have Stake Your Soul also going to 1. I did call this as well on stream, and on the world stream I called this as well, and I feel like this is actually a great hit because this card is essentially like E-Telly for Ryzen, to be able to instantly bring out your copy of Ryzen to your side of the field without even wasting your normal summon, without even wasting any of your plays. You just use this with a fire monster in the hand, so it's very easy to actually just use this card to be able to bring out the exact card that you need. Now we're going to be using it just at 1, but this very much hit the actual Vanquish Soul engine inside of the Vanquish Soul K9 deck, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate because I really like that deck, but I wish they would have just actually limited Stake Your Soul and then actually semi-limited Rise, and that would have been a little bit better. But hopefully on the next coming list, if they eventually do hit K9, which is so good, they eventually probably will hit K9, maybe we'll actually see Rise and go back to 2 maybe. But overall, depending on how it does this format now, with both of these cards being limited, it depends on what happens. So we'll have to wait and see. We then have Solemn Judgment getting limited. This is actually a crazy hit, and we saw this actually happen in Master Duel, where this card got semi-limited in Master Duel, and this is actually really crazy to see an old school staple get limited, which is unfortunate because I have original print MRD Metal Raiders of this that I use, which is really unfortunate. I guess now I have it for 3 different decks, but it's still really unfortunate that this card got hit. It is a side deck card that basically says no to anything, and my catchphrase for Solemn Judgment is, as long as you have half to pay, or as long as you're playing the game, you still have half to pay to be able to activate Solemn Judgment, and can really save your board. So I totally understand them actually limiting this card, but it's pretty crazy to actually see Solemn Judgment go to 1. But it's a very good side deck card to be able to just play and just say no to anything. But now you can just side deck cards like Solemn Strike instead. So that's it for the limited section. Overall, This is shaping up to be one of the best lists ever. I'm really liking the fact that they're hitting Vanquish Soul. They're not completely decimating Fiendsmith. There's no Kashtira hits, which is amazing because Kashtira isn't super played right now. They actually have not, they've hit the big decks of the format, hitting Yummy. They've hit Vanquish Soul, they've hit Malice, they've hit Ryzeal. This is really good. This is overall a great list so far, and they've addressed Paradise Smasher as well. So let's go ahead and see what they actually moved in the semi-limited section. So for the semi-limited section, oh, they did it! They did it! They actually moved Branded Fusion, dude! They actually did it! They moved Branded Fusion back to 2, yes! We didn't get Sanctifier banned, but we have Branded Fusion back at 2. Branded is not really doing that much, but they're actually doing this because of the Albaz structure deck that's going to be released later on in the year, and it's actually insane to see this card come back to 2. I'm so excited to actually see this. Branded Chimera gets a boost, Branded Draco Tail gets a boost, Branded gets a boost. This is so good. This is everything I could have wanted. I'm so glad this card went back to 2. So we don't just have a random one-of with Branded Fusion in the deck. You can actually use Branded as an engine again, which is so good. I love that this card went back to 2. It went back to 2 in Master Duel previously, so we did see this coming. I'm really glad that it's finally back, and this is just such a good move. This is so cool. I'm so excited that we actually have Branded Fusion back. This might be the best ban list ever. I'm really excited for this because this is awesome. This is awesome to actually see Branded Fusion come back to 2. This is awesome. Okay, so there's only one card that is semi-limited. So what can they move to top this to 3? Let's go ahead and see. So for the unlimited, oh, that's big. Okay, wow. Okay, so what do we have? For unlimited section, we have Glow Bloom. Totally fine. It's a once per duel effect. Needle Fiber's not around anymore. Totally understand. That's totally fine. I've been saying this for years, that once Needle Fiber got banned, this card could definitely come back to 2 or at least 3. It could come back to 3 because it's a once per duel effect. You're only playing 1 anyways. For the next card, we have Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King. That's because we're about to get actually True Draco support. So I actually love the fact that they moved this card to 3. It's a great move. It's not crazy anymore, and it's a really good move to actually see Masterpiece go back to 3. We have Morphing Jar going to 3. We're going to build Empty Jar at some point on the channel. This is insane to actually see Morphing Jar go to 3. I never thought I would see the day that a flip monster that says both players discard their hand and draw 5 cards would actually go back to 3. We then have Phantom Sky Blaster going back to 3. This is going to be really interesting because this card can actually help you lane climb like crazy. And it's really interesting to actually see this, but are we going to actually commit the normal summon to this? So I'm not really sure. So this overall was a really good card to actually see moved to 3, but we're going to have to keep an eye out for this. We then have Snake Eye Ash and Snake Eye Popular, with Original Simple Spools Snake Eye or OSS actually being banned. I think this is fine. I said this on the last actual ban list video that we actually discussed this, that I feel like Snake Eye Ash and Popular can definitely go to 3 because OSS is banned, which cuts off the deck from using cards like Wanted and Diabell Star to be able to get to Popular or Ash. So I totally understand this actually going to 3. This is actually a really good move to actually see Snake Eye come back a little bit, but they're not bringing back OSS. And they've kind of said that now because they have Snake Eye Ash and Popular at 3. You cannot have Snake Eye Ash Popular and at 3 if you have OSS in the format. It's just too good. If you actually bring back OSS, Snake Eye Ash might even need to be banned. You got to have one of the 2 banned. It's just too good to actually see. So for the next card, we have Draconic Diagram. Diagram is great because we have Masterpiece back, so that's totally understandable. They put both the 3 as they want to move those new True Draco cards. This is actually a great move. We then have Lightning Storm going to 3. That's very interesting. So now we can actually play 3 Lightning Storm in the side deck. So this is a pretty good move. I really like that overall. It's going to speed up side decking a little bit because you're going to play 3 Lightning Storm now in the majority of decks. It destroys all the attacks from monsters or all your opponent's back rows. So it's a great move. And then Zodiac Barrage also going to 3. That could be crazy. Okay, so with Dryden actually going to 1 and Barrage going to 3, that could be really interesting to actually see players teching in Zodiac Barrage to help you make a Dryden in the deck. And I think that you're actually going to see with this card going to 3, you might start seeing Ryzeal Zodiac a little bit because they are both rank 4 decks that you can technically use to be able to go into Dryden and a Detonator on the field, which is pretty interesting for the consistency to make some really good plays. But overall, that's a good list. That's how you do a ban list. Okay, so this is a really good section. I really like this. The only thing that's takeaways about this is I feel like they could have actually I feel like this is perfect, actually doing this. I feel like they could have also brought back Heavy Storm, but they kind of ran out of room. They kind of ran out of room for the picture. I feel like they probably could have brought Heavy Storm back to 1 as well. That would have been a great move. They could have brought back the Smorg Link as well. Maybe that'll happen on the next one, but they're also releasing the new MST archetype as well. So maybe they're waiting on that to come out and then bring it back on the following list. But they brought back a lot of banned cards like Fiendsmith Lacrima, Linkuriboh, Summon Sorceress, Zodiac Dryden, stuff like that. They brought back Brand Infusion. They even brought back Globloom, which was also banned. So I totally understand them actually not bringing back so many banned cards, but it makes you wonder, guys, what was the point with the 10s actually showing us all those cards coming back, like Mirage of Nightmare, Card of Safe Return, number 95, Metamorphosis, all of those actually being printed in the 10s? Maybe they're just GOAT format reprints besides number 95, but that's really interesting to actually see those cards get reprinted, but nothing of those cards actually moved on the ban list. So overall, no, really good list, and I really like this list. This is actually one of the best ban lists I've seen in a very long time, because it's huge and it addresses every big deck in the format. Ryzeal, or it hits Ryzeal, it hits Malice, it hits Mitsurugi. There's a little bit of a hit, or there's a big hit for Vanquish Soul Canine. It's really good overall. Like, this is just a really good ban list. Even hit Crystron, which is like the 5th best deck. Are we gonna see Blue Eyes be really good again? I do think so. I think we're actually gonna see Blue Eyes come back a little bit because every other deck is hit. I still think Vanquish Soul is good. I don't know if it's the best deck anymore. It's definitely not the best deck, but it's still really good. Yummy's probably the best deck now, even though Obedience Schooled did get limited. Malice is okay now. It's a little bit not great because we do have Dormouse getting hit and Splash Mage getting hit. You can't turn skip with the Canine engine anymore, which is nice. But overall, great list. This is actually really good overall, and I'm really excited to actually see Brand Infusion. I'm going to build so many different branded decks. Definitely comment down below what actual decks you'd like to see me build as well after the ban list, because I'm going to be working like crazy on decks for you guys, because that is basically what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days, is just building and recording like crazy to bring you guys all sorts of awesome deck profiles. And definitely come out, hang out on the stream on Sunday and discuss this ban list with me, because I'm going to be playing Master Duel. So definitely come hang out of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're actually duel against viewers, and it's a lot of fun to actually hang out in. And if you guys want to make sure that you know when that live stream starts, hit the bell down below. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and there's income per notification squad. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.